a great honour to be invited to speak. To be honest, I came for the Marxist magician and wasn't expecting to say a few words. I now wish I'd not had that pint of Adnams, if I'm honest. But it's great to be here with this wonderful turnout. And as Diane just said, look, we as a party have seen in the 50s and then the 80s what happened when we lost power and then we divided as a party and divided as leadership candidates. We went into opposition for 18 years in opposition. We cannot make that mistake again. And therefore it's an honour to be a candidate, but also a great honour to be here with Diane. And we're going to stick together and we're going to fight these Conservative and Liberal cuts all the way. And that's the right way, I think, for us to do our politics. The other thing to say is that I was in Unison a few months ago, talking to some members there, and they said it's all very well talking about your vision for the future or what went on in the past. There are people's lives and jobs being lost now. There's school buildings being cancelled now. And we've got to stand up and campaign, and that is very, very important indeed. And I'm very proud of the work we've done with both the NASUWT and also with the NUT and other unions to say the cuts to the school building programme, actually the free market schools policy for Michael Gove, this is the most dangerous, damaging and socially divisive piece of education policy in this generation. We've got to fight it all the way. And actually, as Len McCluskey said as well, it's not just about our children's education, it's also about jobs now. And when we're told by the media there's no alternative, as Len said, the last politician to say that was Margaret Thatcher in 1980. I'm afraid the politician to say at the time before was Ramsay MacDonald in 1931, when he said there's no alternative, cut spending, cut unemployment support, get the deficit down. Labour said no. Actually, then the Liberals said no. MacDonald went into coalition with the Conservatives, and you had the Great Depression of the 1930s, rising unemployment, debt got worse. You either repeat the mistakes of history or you learn from history, and we've got to say loud and clear, there is an alternative. We should be investing now, not cutting now. That is the way forward, and let's make it with a bit of confidence. I'll say one other thing, if you don't mind, Dan. There's been loads of things which have upset me over the last few weeks and months. The cancellation of the schools, the free market schools. But I'll say one thing. Do you know what really upset me? To see, and Dan will appreciate me telling this story, Frank Field, a Labour MP, advisor to David Cameron on child poverty, and he said, Frank Field said to the Times newspaper, he said, why did Labour waste all that money on breakfast clubs for kids? Because he said, isn't it parents' job to get their kids to school on time in their uniform? And I have to say, of course that's parents' jobs. And for some parents, the breakfast club is convenient. But if you go to any of the school where there's any SUWT or NUT members and you talk to the teachers and head teachers, they'll say, in every year in our school, there's 10 or 15 kids where we don't know if they go home at night, we don't know if they eat a proper meal. If they arrive cold at 9, they'll not learn until lunchtime. If we pay for their breakfast, get them in at 8, they will learn all day. That is social justice in action, delivered by professionals in our schools. Frank Field says it's a waste of time. David Cameron says let the big society take over. Let us stand up for public services, for public investment, fight these cuts all the way. Let's get this rabble out and get Labour back into power so we can carry on the work for social justice. Thank you very much.